Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Chaos Protocol. I am so excited to get us started on the very first of our Arc 4 specials this evening. But if you don't already know, we are Transplanar RPG, an all-transgender, people of color-led, dark fantasy actual play channel telling stories set in an original, non-colonial, anti-orientalist multiverse. This means that we stand against genocide and ethnic cleansing and support all oppressed peoples of this world struggling against injustice, imperialism, and colonization. We must use our voices to build solidarity and fight for the worlds that we wish to see. So to that end, free Sudan, free DRC, free Palestine, free Venezuela, and fuck US imperialism. Abolish ICE until there is nothing left. Free all oppressed peoples of this world. Thank you. And thank you all so much for showing up to support our story. Now, you may have noticed that this is not our regular setup. In fact, it's kind of just me on the screen right now. That's because you are watching the live recording of our Arc 4 special, The Mortal Profane. Special episodes are a crucial part of the Transplanar-verse canon that add vital information to the world, the characters, and the story at large, and we hope you enjoy this one. We are currently co-streaming on Twitch and YouTube at Transplanar RPG, and all VODs will be hosted on our YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure before being uploaded to Vimeo and the Internet Archive. As always, we would like to start by giving a big old shout out to our sponsors for Arc 4 and Transplanar as a whole, the Working Families Party, Hero Forge, Explain Trade, and Frivolous Bear Studios, as well as Chepeku for letting us use their custom backgrounds. And a big thank you to our Patreon precepts for supporting our show. So thank you to Azura, Brooke, The Bow System, Elvira, Mainman13, Mark J, Nocessity, Robert Burke, Rose, Sergeant Danes, Spectra, Spencer, Taylor, Travis L, and Zoe. You can join their illustrious ranks at patreon.com/transplanarrpg. Also, you wanna be sitting down for this one, because we are very, very excited to share that Transplanar RPG is partnering with Die Hard Dice to bring you 4 custom dice sets themed after each member of Strike Team Nova. These are 7-piece sharp-edged resin dice, and they are gorgeous. If you're thinking, I don't know Die Hard Dice did resin, you're absolutely right, because this collaboration is Die Hard Dice's official launch of their sharp-edged resin dice line. And it's available for purchase literally right now if Tech Demons didn't gobble up that link. So head on over to bit.ly/transdhd for Die Hard Dice to nab your very own set of Chaos Dice, or at the very least, go there and check out what they look like, because they look really freaking cool. They are gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Can confirm. Oh, they are online. I just confirmed it right now. You can just go check it out. It looks really freaking good. And now, for what Sam usually does, but now it's my responsibility. Last time on the Chaos Protocol, Strike Team Nova searches an abandoned radio tower and finds the remnants of a stranger's life. Operator 19 loved birdwatching, cheap beer, and good music. They held out for as long as they could, transmitting alerts for anyone who might be left to hear them. And then, Nova discovers the source of the radio tower's power, an oracle, transmitting an SOS and the locations of the 3 graves of Strike Team Sunrise. And that's what you missed last time. Use !recap in the chat to read our full written recap document, or go to bit.ly/chaosrecap. And now for some self-care tips. The Chaos Protocol is a dark fantasy series that deals with content that may be triggering for some viewers. So content warnings for this session may include fantasy violence, survival and scarcity, environmental collapse, apocalypse, storms, complex relationships, grief, death of loved ones, mourning, ghosts, death and murder, romance, guns as weaponry, blood, childbirth, and references to classism and the loss of children. If you're in the Twitch chat, use !CW to get a look at our content warnings at any time. And if you are in the YouTube live, our incredible mods have been copying and pasting these content warnings in the chat, and you can just scroll back through the history to take a look at these warnings. And now, moving on to the title of tonight's episode. The title of this Arc 4 special is The Mortal Profane. And with that, let's begin. The mortal mind is a strange bauble inside a sack of flesh that invents stories about its body and what happened to its body. And you are no exception. Under the waning suns of a world that should not be dying, that should have survived. You look at 3 graves, and you see your own past. The first grave marker is made of stone. No, wood. And it is steadfast and strong. No, stoic and lean. And it is the tallest of the 3. No, of middling height, possessed of a quiet skill and confidence that you have always admired and sought to emulate. It is driven deep into the earth to stand watch until the end. The second grave marker is made of stone. No, wood, and it is patient and reserved. No, hardy and warm, and it told you not to worry, that it would join the first one soon. There is a crack in its base where a crawling monarch, no, firefly, once made its nest, but no longer. The third grave marker is made of stone, no wood, and it is spirited and true, honest to a fault, the relic of a hope long gone. It is the smallest of the 3, and the hole that it makes inside of your heart is the deepest. There are no names, and there are no inscriptions. No. The first 2 have names carved into the grain by sturdy and loving hands. You could not muster the strength to inscribe the third. The last thing you heard was the rattling of wind through the bare branches of a tree that was old when you were young, a tree whose flesh you pried apart to hew 3 gravestones. Somewhere deep, in the place your soul fades to dust, you stand before the graves of Ija, Sorna, and Doxa Esh.
And yet you did not dig one for yourself. Why not?
I couldn't.
Artemis's voice is warm beside you, and you recognize her immediately, though the form that they take in this memory, in the deep recess of your subconscious, in the nerve endings coursing through your brain, and the molten gold pooling behind your right eye, is almost unfamiliar. But you do remember it, don't you? Can you remember it? Their chest flattened against long and elegant strips of cloth, stretchy enough to keep their ribs free, tight enough to keep them bound. An off-white robe torn at the hem, laying in jagged pieces around strong thighs. Hair sprouting from her scalp, white, silver, starlight, the moon, whichever you prefer. Shaved at the sides, tossed behind her like she cut it with a hunting knife. And of course, in this memory, in this part of her, you can't see their eyes. Half of their face hidden beneath a silvered, chipped half-helm, etched with laurel leaves, framed by 2 huge horns that curl upward to form a crescent halo above their head. Even now, standing in front of these 3 graves beside you, she's not wearing shoes, her feet are bloody. Arrows stick out of her back. Hundreds, you think at first, but no. Just 3. And she doesn't seem to notice.
The voice doesn't matter. It does, obviously. Her voice is her own, and he would hear it call him from the dead. But It's the call. There's like a pull, even if she just sent a message. Tighter than most tethers he's ever experienced to his patron saint of mortals. The only one he's ever served at trans. But also the shape of them. The one that he's seen in his dreams. The one that he saw when he sat at her side and healed from a grief he thought he would never recover from. He knows her like someone knows the moon.
You don't think you ever left my side, do you? Even now, we're still there. We're here too.
I don't dare think of myself as so unique among all your field agents.
You sound a little bitter.
Yeah. I think I've just been gone too long. And beneath that there is a truth, an untruth, the way that Xainan Esh always speaks. Because these three graves, his Ima, his mom, and Doxa. No. The graves that he was just standing before lurk in the back of his mind. And there are so many questions. But he's never been able to hide that from Artemis.
Why would you? When she looks at you, the challenge is clear in her face to ask. Challenge, invitation. Whichever
What happened
suits
with
you.
them?
Oh. It's a long story, Xainan. Are you ready to hear it?
And the graves that he sees sit under an old tree that he's known since he looked up to it, into the branches. A story that he can't even look at. 3 graves.
You never really were there, were you? You've been gone a long time. I don't even know if you were ever really there.
Of course I was.
Of course you were. She seems to think it's a joke that you're staring.
And like 1,000 times he's had a question, mostly because he is mortal. And he has so little capacity to understand sometimes the greater paintings of the journey. He just lets it go. He should ask, he should dig in. But that one slides off of him when he should look closer.
That's okay. She picks it up for you. Looks over the 3 graves, and you know she's looking at 3 different ones. Ones that you wouldn't recognize. Ones that you may never recognize. I'll tell you. I'll tell you about them. If you like. You'll have to follow me. First. Again. For old time's sake.
Have I ever stopped?
I think the great tragedy is Xainan Esh is... No. You haven't. She nods. You can hear the metal creak in her neck as she does. And then stiffly, leaving a trail of blood behind her, she begins to walk. Past the old tree, down the road, toward the outer fields. They take a few steps before they turn back, almost like they had forgotten to do something. Do you want to live?
And the question echoes, not just around the valley with dead trees and a radio tower, but backwards, through the dust, through the halls of Trans, and into a memory. But of course the answer is different now, isn't it? Of course I do.
They're satisfied with that. For now. They beckon. They lead you to spring.
It is the spring of your life, and your Ima is about to give you the gun. You have pined for this moment for years, ever since you were old enough to connect the dots between Ija leaving the steading with the rifle slung across their back and the wild rabbit or duck or venison that Sorna would cook later that night. It is a beautiful metal device that Ija wields to make food happen, to keep the flock safe, to keep your soul inside of your body and not up there with the ancestors. Not yet. In the knee-high purple grass, Ija holds the gun carefully, not handing it over. Not yet either. There is something left to do. Something left to speak about.
I always liked them very much. Did you ever notice how sad they were?
And Xainan begins to shift. Younger. Shorter.
Not this time, don't.
What do you mean?
Stay in it. Stay with me.
But
Did you ever
I was
notice
different.
how sad they were?
Naima?
Look.
And he
Corner of their
looks.
eyes.
And a picture painted in fond memory has cracks. Dark circles under their eyes. Their white hair isn't just white by choice. Their hands are worn, tired. It's painted all over them. And he's only 13 and he knew it then. Of course I did.
It's a difficult thing. Growing up too soon. You can see it in the calluses on their hands. The way their trigger finger twitches. Aching. Inflamed. The birds they lose that they wouldn't have lost 10 years ago. They needed help. You needed help.
I tried to convince them to find someone. For them to trade jobs for my ma to sit in the fields. I didn't understand. And then I did.
Because you sat in the fields.
It had to be me.
Maybe.
No, it did. It had to be me.
Maybe.
My Ima was the strongest person I ever knew. It wasn't their fault. They worked themselves to the bone. And no one ever gave them enough.
I know. That's what I mean, Xainan. Maybe If they had enough. If you had enough. Artemis sighs, walks past Ija, who is in the middle of telling you that that gun is also a shield. A lesson that you didn't learn for a decade, maybe you won't learn for another decade. And as they pass Ija, it's not just Ija. Ija is also Arush. In LSSG, asking you, will you lead? Will you do it?
Can't be me.
You said no that time.
And Ija is also Naeem, handing you a letter asking you to take care of a girl who is about to come into your strike team, to watch over her.
I failed that one too.
Did you?
I put it aside.
Did you fail it? Sure, it took you a little bit, but you picked that one up.
I didn't ask to have another daughter. But I do.
And Ija is also all of the Mayday missions raining down from the sky, these unanswered prayers, and the feeling that wells up inside of you as you see them, the same feeling that welled up inside of you as you reached for the gun.
I can do this. And this time there's hope. There's hope. Resignation and hope. And the terrible place that they mix and become duty.
And it is also Artemis asking you to shoot into the sun.
That one I understood.
Artemis turns over the birdsong bow in her hands, as though it was familiar to her, as though the weight of it brings some kind of familiar, faraway pleasure that you've never seen on their face. And when their eyes, their helm, raises to meet your gaze, it is with that same beautiful, grief-stricken resignation that mirrors Ija's. Grief. And so much pride. We ask you all for so much. Often before you are ready. And the thing is, perhaps you will never be ready. And that's the real tragedy. Because it happens anyway, before any of us can blink. I have lived 1,000 lifetimes and more, and I am never ready to lose them. And the birdsong bow is pressed into your hands, and the gun is pressed into your hands, and you know she's telling you, Xainan, she's been telling you about Strike Team Sunrise since the day you landed in therapeutics and recovery. Her mouth is just so full of blood that it's hard to make her out sometimes.
Mortals.
Mortals.
And he holds the bow, the rifle, in 1,000 forms. It feels heavy. But it is home. And he understands, because he would carry this rifle for Artemis past the edges of the journey. In fact, he might have at this point.
Sharp eye. When sunrise arrived, they were already well past our reach. Xainan And Artemis looks around. Looks around at that hall in the city of heaven, looks around at the field that you grew up in, the lodestar in the distance, the grass that turns purple when the suns start to set all at the same time. It was mortals. Mortals that drove this place from Fate's will a long, long, long time ago. Far before anyone at the Syndicate knew how bad it had gotten. Perhaps even before Fate knew how bad it had gotten. When Sunrise got here, they arrived with an impossible mission. To stop something that had already started. They tried anyway. But doing so, and Artemis looks up. And even now, even in this memory, even in this fever dream that you're sharing with her, somewhere between the journey, somewhere between time and space, somewhere in the deep recesses of your mind, tucked behind your right eye, she's there, oblivion. And when Artemis looks up, something about their neck stretches, pulled, like all the bones in her body are rearranging and then settling again, because it's just your memory of it. Here, in the sky. You must understand that when you are far from everything, it seeks to reason that you are very, very close to nothing. And reaching for her will, trying to find it again, only draws it closer. You learned this lesson, didn't you, in Inferno? The world started to fold in on itself, bend under the weight of your presence, your choices.
Yeah.
You had to run, disentangle yourself from the Syndicate to keep entropy from taking over completely, and even then, Phoenix's presence added an indelible weight that nearly tore it apart.
They teach us just a piece of this. Enough to understand, but
There is
I guess
an
I
infinite well.
didn't.
There are so many things that we do and don't know. But there is no stopping her. Oblivion. Maybe slowing it. A being connected to the Syndicate, embodying her will in worlds so far removed from the tapestry of the journey, like this one was. Unthreaded, cut off, driven far, far away by 1,000 mortal choices, a lifetime before your dust. It's like a signal flare, guiding her home. Sunrise tried, and they failed. And they died before we even knew they were so far off course. But still, they tried.
There are 1,000 truths, and what the patron saint of mortals just said, and each of them like an arrow to the heart. Kesiki made its own doom. The mortals of Kesiki.
No, not doom.
He's still learning.
Oh,
It takes them so long to learn. And what for? What is it exactly about him, about them? That is so weak and yet so strong.
We're getting to that.
Deviate.
Everything takes time. Xainan. Choices made this. Choices can unmake it. They still tried.
so fate did. tried.
She tried.
Your world is not supposed to die. It was not supposed to die.
Ah!
There is a letter that falls to the ground next to your knees as you scream. A letter from Naeem. A gun. A bow.
Every time he ever went into the field as a field agent, he really was trying to save the next Keseki. And it lays on him like a balm on a burn. Fresh wounds. The thing that pulled him away to run from Inferno, from Naeem. And he misses Trans. He is home, and the home he's wished for 1,000 times, and here in his memory he is even more home, with the rolling purple fields and the forest that he knows in his Ema right in front of him. And still this balm reminds him of another home. And he thinks of the strike team that he never knew. The 3 graves.
As Artemis stares upward into the black hole that sits in your memory, which wasn't there in your memory, Ija kneels down beside you, and you can feel the comforting weight of their hand on your shoulder. You can feel the weight of their grief and the weight of their pride. And they ask you, do you want to live?
And the boy, the eyes so bright, with freckles on his cheeks, are still inside of the man with hunter marks and grief and scars. And he looks to his Ema. And it is so eager. Like asking if he wants to breathe because, yes, of course. Of course he wants to do anything for his family.
You answer the call. You take the gun, the letter, the bow. And Artemis leads you into the summer of your life.
It is the summer of your life. And Azalis Raid has pointed guns, yes, guns, plural, at each of you for screaming your fool heads off while they're trying to push this damn baby out of their body. Out on the porch of the Lodestar, pacing, frantic, you and Piera and Dom make worried, mortal sounds and faces while Ija tries to talk sense into everyone. And then the door flies open, and Sorna is bloodied and grinning, and she asks, "Do you want to see them or not?" And all of you shove inside, a flood of boots and hats coming off and half-rolled cigarettes falling to the floor, and there they are, Azalis Raid, sweating and exhausted and smiling, holding in their arms a thing more precious than water. They are small. So small, the smallest thing in the world. Sorna and Dom and Piera and Ija lean away slightly so you can take them first, from Ozzo's arms into yours.
Were you scared to hold them that first time?
I probably should have been. But it was like finding my own arm again. I didn't even think. I just reached, and there they were. So small. I didn't know babies were so small.
Tiny little thing.
And he leans down, and he's radiating joy. And he kisses their forehead, this small purple baby who he will love forever to the ends of the journey.
It's not soon after that Pieta nudges you, wanting a turn.
Yeah.
And you pass Doxa into Naeem's arms. And over Naeem's shoulder, Diablo is smiling, commenting, "Oh, she looks just like you, Ozzel."
She does.
And soon, she's passed into Artemis's arms, who sits down on the wooden rocking chair that Sorna's grandparent passed to you. Creaks like a hell of a thing. You can't lean too far back, but... And Artemis looks down into Doxa's face. In the Lodestar, your daughter, who will one day be your daughter. They haven't chosen yet. And they smile. And it is with a smile, underneath the helm, with the arrows pressing against the wooden back of that rocking chair. Blood smell fresh and happy. Artemis asks. She says, "I never wanted children. Not of my own. It's not my nature. I am not
Sure
the
got
parent."
plenty of us mortals.
I do. I am not the parent so much as the nest, as the night. It's the thicket of brambles that covers the hatchlings and the small deer and the foxes. And as they say foxes, a gentle hand down baby Lumira's face, cradled in her arms. I am the Ionian grove, a forest of memories. But it isn't my nature to care for them. Here, you hold her again. And when Artemis holds the baby out to you, there's a tiny little nub in horns. And Sing smiles up at you.
And just like the first time, like reconnecting with a limb, he just takes her, kisses her forehead. Perfect. And he can't look away. Because again, he would love her until the end of the journey. Till forever.
And Sayer, baby Sayer, reaches for your thumb. And their hand is so small it can't even curl around it.
Already trying it.
And next to you, you hear Sahim's rumbling laughter, and you smell Anugata's hand-rolled cigar smoke as she lights up a celebration. And you hear Kenzo's hooves shuffling over the floorboards as he brings much-needed water and hydration to your beloved. And the hissing, happy and curious and excited from Langhui's snake as they sit beside Piera, beside Dom. And there's something in Doxa. The eyes blink and you see bright yellow, like those of the heirs of the House of the Spider. They blink again and you see bright orange eyes, the eyes of someone meant to inherit the mantle of an emperor. and with every blink the eyes change to each of the pupils of the scions of the wild sea, until they are Daxa's again, which has always been Sing, which has always been Lumira, which has always been Sayer.
Is this the happiest day of your life, Xainan?
He looks like he's going to actually explode in joy as he looks around the room, smiling from ear to ear, effervescent, so happy.
And Artemis, sitting in the rocking chair, is sitting across from you at her desk, asking you to mentor Sing, trusting in you.
You know, I should have been more eager. I wish I had been. And he sits in the chair, uncomfortable, feeling like sitting as the only planet underneath a massive sun. Is this one question something that he thought he would never do again? But just like the first time, he has to. Not because Artemis asked him, because Sing needs him.
And the chair you're sitting in is not just a chair. And that warmth of the sun you feel is the warmth of King Maswu, who sits beside you in the high terrace of the Raya, looking down at Abasi and Sing playing with a Trifluridon. And it is you, walking Lumira to work in Inferno, whittling away the hours with Sayer and Yinghe, the lazy bear, filtering water for your family in a cove, in the manticore's nest, giving the best advice you can, teaching Lumira how to cook on Storm Chaser.
That one wasn't so good. We did okay.
You did okay.
And he doesn't change, doesn't blink from this, from all of his joys in the shape of his family. He could be in any of these rooms with these people, including you, Artemis, and he would be home. He forgets sometimes.
That's what I'm here for. To remind you. Perhaps that is my sainthood. My tragedy. And she leans over your shoulder, looks down into the little face looking up at you, and smiles.
His mortality was always such a beautiful gift. And so was your sainthood. Is that why you chose him? Because he was like you?
Is that the easy answer?
I'm not looking for the easy answer. I'm looking for the true answer.
Then you'll have to wait. It takes time.
Very well.
Xainan.
Do
you want to live?
And he looks up. And Xainan Esh became a father this day in a room with maybe too many people, with blood, all kinds of biology. But it was always in him to be a part, to be connected to a family.
You say that in past
So he
tense.
only has And he looks down to baby Lumira one more time. In his arms. Forever, yes.
Artemis nods. And she lingers there, looking down at baby Lumira, baby Doxa, baby Sing, baby Sayer. It's not in my nature, but I'm sorry for where we have to go next.
Can't we just stay?
We've lingered for a long time already.
He looks to Ozalis in the bed. He'll find them. And with one gentle kiss on Doxa's forehead, he leans in to give them back. But he stays afraid to turn around.
You can hear Artemis opening the door, but perhaps more so than the door, it's the wind. The door doesn't open into the hallway or the porch. It opens into the dust. And she leaves a trail of blood for you to follow.
This was always next.
It's next. And she leads you into the fall of your life.
It is the fall of your life, and the bodies are still. There are only two noises: the tapping of your boots over a desiccated field, and the eager howling of dust. The people you killed, all four of them, are sprawled across the ground in limp and unmoving heaps like puppets with their strings cut. They never saw you coming. You did not give them the chance. 4 shots, 4 kills. 3 of them fell close to each other, their bodies conveniently placed, easy enough to pick through. The 4th, who had started running, is a few meters away. You search their bodies in the usual places: pockets, shoes, scarves, the lining of jackets. One of them has sap gum in their mouth, so you take that too. And then you hear it. A third noise that isn't you or the dust. A shuffling of leather on earth, a low and desperate gurgling. The 4th, who had started running, is somehow still alive. You must have missed the heart. They are groaning and looking up at you, and there is fear and terror in the eyes behind the goggles. There is a knife in their hand that they feebly brandish, not to attack, but to defend. To beg.
You had forgotten the word for mercy by this point, hadn't you?
The world did.
Did it?
I did.
That's what I was asking. Don't lie to me.
I did what I had to.
Don't lie to me.
I felt like I had to.
Closer.
I needed her to eat.
You needed to survive.
We had to. That was what I said I would do. Survive. And sometimes it looks like this, and he lords over this dying person. His rifle out. He's not even afraid of the knife. They're too weak.
Artemis watches you. She lingers by the other 3 bodies. Prove it.
He pulls
Is
the
this
trigger.
who you are?
The body goes limp. The knife clatters out of a still hand. Were there possessions worth killing over?
In a normal, rational world, no.
But in this new, irrational world, in your mind they were?
They were a way to the next thing.
Which
Sell them,
was
trade them. It wasn't food, but maybe it could become water or food.
I will not cast viciousness at you from a glass house, Xainan. Your viciousness is my viciousness. Your blood is my blood. I would not cut off this piece of you, and I would not let you forget its sting. Was it worth it?
And he wants to say yes, but he can't. He sees Seir and Yinghe in the cave. He sees Doxa's face when he comes home with an armful of things that all mean nothing.
No, you see the cave skipper underneath you in a hole. You see the Baron. You smell the gunpowder in your hand. You see that piece of Eregnus under the butt of your gun. Again and again and again. You see Harlow, already incapacitated, and you feel your trigger finger twitch. Still. And it's the Forge Master.
Voice. Shriek Wang. The Forge Master. Telling you a truth that resonated then and resonates now. That you are the same. This viciousness, this violence that has always been a part of you through every season of your life, coursing through your veins in equal measure as your blood, as the dust that now seeps from the cracks in your face, in your back. This violence, this cruelty, this brutality. What did you do with their bodies, if anything at all? Did you do anything to guide their spirits to the stars like you were taught? Did you even say a prayer for them?
No. There weren't any fireflies left, and I was all out of prayers and tears for the dead. Water's
Don't
too
lie
precious.
to me.
I said I was sorry before I pulled the trigger. Every time.
I know. There is much you can learn from your own fear. So much. And I would not make you cast it out. I would not bury it inside of you. I would not force you to change your nature. But while there is so much that you can learn from fear, there is so much more you can lose by indulging it. Does your daughter measure your love in the length of the bodies trailing behind you?
And here, surrounded by dust, blood, watching the cave skipper twist. He wants to say no, but standing in the doorway, the lodestar steading, boarded up against the dust. You could see it in her eyes. She knew what he had done. They all know. don't they?
Your viciousness is my viciousness. Your blood is my blood. Do you want to live, Xainan?
At any cost. Yes.
Then this memory is just as important as all the others.
And then he feels it. A drop of water in a dusty, barren desert. A tether of hope. Not because there's any hope to be found here, but because for the very first time since running from Trans, Xainan wishes that he could walk through familiar doors and go talk to people. Mortal people, Artemis.
Go.
Not
I'm
just
right behind you.
Right. And it dawns on him that he can run through that door. So he does. The halls of LSSG, unremarkable in every season. Place of grief. Simple tables and chairs set up for polite and normal conversation before, populated with familiar faces of Trans, of Arush smiling and waiting eagerly. Naeem, not that Naeem's been in a minute that he can remember, but also Ija. Sorna next to them. The Scions, too.
Who else?
And Diablo. Anugata. Rhododendron and Tavash. His family, Castell. All these faces of people that, when he talked to them, hidden in the half-truths, this was screaming out of his soul. So, of course, front and center, Doxa, Thyr, Lumira, Thing. Lumira, who he's seen 1,000 times here at LSSG, who he mentored. It's time to try again. He walks through and sees all of these family that he has known, all these people who have guided and changed him. And others, past Hop Ching, past Xiao Cheng, past even... Dom, but not Dom from the room where Doxa was born, but the one that punched him in the diner. He sees faces that he doesn't know yet. Shapes and figures. As he walks past and stands in front of everyone, from his pocket unfolds his usual speech. Yeah. My name is Xainan Esh. I am the last of my home. But I'm not. I'm not a lone survivor. I thought my home, Kesiki, my whole world where my ancestors were born and rested, where I fell in love, had a daughter, where the whole journey could have been just one fucking beautiful valley, was gone. I thought it was gone. Kesiki was consumed by... is being consumed by... is next to Oblivion. Oblivion, who took so many of your homes. Did it? Was the journey just harder than we hoped for? I thought that this connected us, made us kin. And it did. But I didn't tell you my story the way you all told me yours. Welcomed me into yours. You showed me your homes, your families, your lives. I didn't let you in. And he looks across the room, and he locks eyes with Doxa. He looks at Nova. I never showed you that I would rip down the stars to get you back. I owed you more than this sorry excuse for a speech that I've said 1,000 times. I should have done this so long ago. From the beginning, then. My name is Xainan Esh. And I thought I was, a lone survivor. I'm from a little valley called Haruna. It's confusing, because the city, the valley, and the lake all have the same name. Some things are just like that. But it was green when the suns were high and so alive. I never left it. I regret all of the time now that I didn't travel more, learn more about Kesiki. How big and strange and wonderful it was. I never even met the families of my partners. They wrote home to them, sent money. And one day would die looking for them. Pyrrha. I had a family. My ma, Sorna. My Ema, Isha. We weren't rich folk. Simple farmers. A planted field, a stable of raptors. Nothing grand. My partners. Dom, Pyrrha, Azalis. We all just fit. And ripping a strip of hell through a world that didn't give us our fair cut. Then there was our daughter, Doxa. My whole world. When she... Doing this in order. And that was it. That was all I needed. Keep the cold out and the warmth in. Light in the dark and all that. My folks passed before the dust came. Hard lives were hard on the body. And time, well, we're just mortal. Losing my Ema was one of those things. From the moment you understand death, you fear the day you'll lose your parents. With Asia, I had time. We all did. It wasn't a surprise. And my mom, Well, she wasn't meant to be without my Ema. And it hurt. But we grieved. I grieved. And then the dust came. Kesiki was a big, beautiful world full of life. Bugs and birds, sea creatures and cave skippers, farmers, and gamblers and radio tower operators, miners and fishing folk. Kids who just want to grow up one day. And there's not enough grief in all the journey to mourn them. Which is what I should have always said to all of you. That I know your griefs. I heard them. That I hear them. That's what makes us kin. The dust. It wasn't a fast death. It was slow. It was so slow that it's still dying. It's slow and unkind. The lake, the fields, the raptors. And I did what I had to. I did what I had to. When they all left, hopeful that there was anything other than dying like the rest of the world. My partners. I couldn't. I lost myself. I failed. I failed her. I stayed. We stayed. I thought I had to. I thought going into the dust, where I did what I had to for us to survive, that would be too terrible for her. So when the end came for her, it was quiet. My daughter. My whole world died. And then you were there. I was home. I buried her, my Ema, my ma. 3 graves, right? I was almost the 4th. Took months for TNR to put me back together. Hell, I'm mostly dust still. And why was it me? Huh? Why me? Why couldn't you have come a day, a week, a month, years earlier? All I remember is the dust. After that, it was howling and empty, and I don't know. I laid down in the dust, and then you found me, and I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. What happened? What happened to me? I thought I was going to the stars. And I woke up. TNR barely held together. What happened?
From the audience, Sing raises her hand.
How did you die?
I don't know.
And all the way from the back of the room, Artemis stands up, turns around, and opens the door with a trail of blood promising you an answer.
It follows.
And she leads you to the end, to the death of Xainan.
The mortal body is a sack of flesh that bleeds and blooms and decays and dies from the very moment of its creation. It is a conjugate of meat and energy, neurons and elasticity, tendon, bone, jelly, ligament, and it holds an entire universe inside of it. A universe I cannot begin to fathom. A universe that you call a soul. And you are no exception. Under the waning suns of a world that should not be dying, that should have survived, your sack of flesh leans against the husk of a tree that was once mighty, next to 3 graves that you dug yourself. There are 4 mortals, alive for now, milling about nearby, not looking at the thing that is about to happen. For there is a hand beneath the paltry shade of this once mighty tree, a patron saint of mortals, looking down at your unmoving body. All this time we've spent in your mortal flesh and your fallible memory, but you know that you're seeing her. Remember this part. Your first meeting through the saint's profane eyes.
I suppose you don't remember, do you? That you were dead.
What?
Artemis is wearing a mirage in this world, as they often do. Stepping into the journey changes them, as it changes you, though their form is always on the razor's edge of collapse, of revealing a secret that she leaves in a trail of blood behind her. This form is silver-skinned and radiant, a vestige of the Kesiki that fell years ago. Neon green and silver antlers, branches, roots, sprouting from their forehead in 2 sets, curling past pointed ears and reaching toward their neck, their cheeks, their eyes. Their eyes, sclera dark as night with 3 golden pupils burning in each one. They wear a heavy cloak of white rabbit fur, and hunched over your body, they look like a scavenging animal, a spirit caught between the sky and the stars, something obscured that you haven't seen in months. You see this saint. You see the Artemis you remember from therapeutics and recovery. You see the weeping face underneath the helm. It's all the same to you.
Behind her, the low and nervous chatter of the wild hunt. Mnemosyne is a decade younger than the last time you saw her, as is Long, who hasn't lost their eye yet. There are two others you don't know, names you've heard in passing, but share no memory with. Long is in the middle of saying, "What about Oblivion? If we change too much, we might annihilate the whole planet. We might not be able to get home." There is strain in Mnemosyne's brow as she replies, "Artemis will not lead us astray, nor into the jaws of the end." But in the glance backward, you know she's trying to convince herself of her own words.
I told her not to worry. That the journey was owed a cosmic balance and I was paying it. We left one behind. We would take one with us. You watch the saint speak, and the brachiating roots of her glowing horns tighten around her throat, the journey trying to reclaim what it had lost. The outline of her, like a paper nearly torn. But her eyes never leave your face, though no life peers back at her. If I'm being completely honest, that was mostly a guess. I was being selfish. There was no reason for it being you, Xainan. Not even the graves, though they made me curious. You were the first person I found. It was just chaos. Somewhere far away
What?
from fate.
That's it?
Does that not satisfy you?
Yes, it does. No, it really doesn't. It makes sense. But it also makes no sense at all, which I suppose makes it perfect for you.
It might have been her. I'm sorry it wasn't. And I'm not sorry at all.
Despite the fact that your body is slumped against that tree, half buried in dust, you can tell that Artemis can see you. Not your corpse, for you are dead here, Xainan Esh. Artemis can see you. The spirit, not yet ascended to sit with your ancestors in the stars. The spirit that doesn't know it can leave its sentinel post, that its ghostly chest need not rise and fall, that the world cannot cause it any more pain.
And she asks you that most holy, most mortal, most true, most profane question, as clear as the day it reached your dead ears. Do you want to live?
In this memory that he's painted for himself, he thought it made sense, this memory. That there was just a raspy throat that croaked out some words. But here, his spirit, the thing that I guess he's always been, looks to stars that aren't there. You can't see them.
Yes, you can.
Sees them for the first time in what feels like lifetimes. He sees them all. All the ancestors that he has ever held. The ones that poured their spirit to make his. He sees the raptors running through the fields. The spirit of even the dead trees. this grand tree that shepherded him his entire life. And he stands there as the only spirit of the lodestar steading, a place of love, of joy, of creation.
Don't lie to me.
And an emphatic, singular, clarion yes.
It's not just your voice, is it? Listen. Listen to the sound of it.
Xainan, it is you, yes, but it is also your entire ancestral line and all of your descendants that are here now and have yet to come. Doxa, Ija, Sorna, Piera, Dom, Azel, the raptors in your flock, the cave skipper of Hane Bay, Operator 19, everyone you have ever known, everyone you have ever loved here. The soul of the planet itself, Kesiki, singing with you, not overwhelming your voice, but lifting it, joining with it, carrying it within its own harmony, its chorus, its verse. Sing, Lumira, Seir, Arush, Kenzo, Naeem, everyone in LSSG, everyone whose lives you have ever touched through your friendship, your mentorship, your story. And her voice, too. Fate. Yes, Kesiki wants to live. Kesiki wants to survive. This place, your world, it was never meant to die. It was always meant to live. Of course you sing, yes. It's how it was supposed to be. It's how it should be. Now and forever.
If you had said
heard it, patron saint.
If he had said no, I would have walked away. I would not be so cruel. But it sounds beautiful. The yes. And there is a cosmic balance to be paid. What the patron saint does next is not meant for mortal eyes, though you see it anyway. She leans forward, searching for something, and finds it, tucked against the side of your leg, a knife. A familiar knife. Your Ima's boot knife. Its edge, jagged and rusted from blood and dust. Her hand brushes yours, and though you are dead, hers is colder, like the moon. She holds the knife in one hand and looks up and sees her eye, the black hole, oblivion, the end of all things. And they reach up and they cut a piece of it out of the sky. And when they pull the knife back with all the strength they have in their body, the finest filament of void wrapped around The blade, like a thread up into space, past the dust. The first piece. And then she cuts off her own hand. And it is not blood that falls. It is an endless spool. Spools and spools and spools and spools of red thread that come pouring out. Her gifted immortality. And from it she cuts a finite piece of an infinite resource, jagged and hungry. Finally, the easiest part. She hands you the blade and asks you what you will offer her in return.
He reaches for it. He's not meant to remember if it was the spirit or the body it made of dust. But a hand takes it. A hand belonging to Xainan Esh. And with the same certainty he has always followed her with. Just like receiving the rifle from his Ima. Just like stepping into fatherhood. Even with the viciousness of the killer in the dust. Even with all the love and grief. Everything.
And with the knife, she pulls back and threads through your spirit, your ghost. And gently as she can muster, though the hands are cold, and the 3 arrows in her back dig in deeper, and the roots, the horns, the branches around her throat close and tighten, and the fabric of reality around her rips. She braids it. Your spirit. A life. And the promise of an end. The journey is made only to be experienced. And with that, there is a promise that your life is worth experiencing. That is what I promise you. I do not promise you an end to grief. I do not promise you an end to love. There is no such thing. She takes the body, your body, and she feeds you the thread, which turns to water in your mouth. Because you are mortal, and I am selfish.
Water on parched, dead skin. Just enough life.
She carries you home.
Under the waning suns of a world that should not be dying, that should have survived, Xainan Esh, You stand beside your strike team, your ghosts, your families, and you look at 3 gravestones. And we're going to end the session there. Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Arc 4 Special Episode 1, The Mortal Profane. Let's do some much-deserved outroductions, starting with Kai.
Wow. Hi, everyone. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns. You can find me everywhere as Estella Vim Ladris, and here as the Mortal Profane Xainan. Father, Son, Man in the Dust,
Holy Spirit.
Agent, Unholy Spirit.
Unholy Spirit.
And just resonating in gratitude. See? My patron saint of mortals.
Hello, everyone. My name is C. I use they, them pronouns. And I am the patron saint of mortals. And this is my tragedy. And this is my tragedy. And this is my tragedy. Connie?
Okay, you all are really, really lucky that my face was not on screen during, honestly, that entire thing, but specifically the profane ceremony that my face. And the entire time, like, it would have been so distracting. Like, oh my god, slack-jawed. Oh my goodness. Okay, so, my god, okay. I need you all to know that this was, like, you were doing things, when you come on as Artemis, like, her spirit literally possesses you, and you do, like, things that are so nasty and depraved.
The most freak shit.
Perverse and heretical. I love you. Thank you. Oh
she
my
crawls
God.
up out of the inside, like tucked behind my heart, and she starts screaming out of my mouth. And I go, okay, whatever you want.
Yep.
Yes, boss.
Literally, like, you're not in control here. It's fully Artemis who's here. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we just have a few announcements here at the end of the stream. So first of all, in case
I'll
you
play
missed
maybe
it,
a less devastatingly sad song.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you, C. Thomas.
There we go.
So play something more upbeat, please.
Okay.
So, in case you all missed it at the top of the stream, we are so excited to share that Transplanter RPG is partnering with Die Hard Dice to bring you 4 custom dice sets themed after each member of Strike Team Nova.
It's so pretty.
They literally look beautiful. They look so good. They are 7-piece sharp edge resin dice. Gorgeous. And they are technically, officially, Die Hard Dice's official launch of their resin dice line. So we are the pilot launch. And all of these sets are available for browsing and purchase literally right now. So you can go over to bit.ly/transdhd to nab your very own set of Chaos dice. Even if you're not planning on buying, you should just go over there and, like, check it out, because they look really freaking good. They look really good. Okay. Also, an important note about these special episodes that you'll be seeing more of throughout this arc. We are rebranding our bonus episodes to be called specials instead, to more accurately reflect. Thank you, Discord. Good polling there. This better reflects what they're all about, because they're not, like, extraneous. They're a crucial part of Transplanter canon, as you all learned today. A very crucial part of the canon that if you miss, you might, like, watch another episode and go, what the heck? Did I miss something? Yes, you did. You missed a special, not bonus, special episode. Adds vital information to the world, the characters, and the story at large. In fact, our next stream is another special episode that will introduce our guest player for Arc 4. You do not want to miss this one. It's also going to contain some really crucial information about the story and plot of Arc 4. So make sure you tune in next Saturday, January 24th at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time to meet the sole survivor of Strike Team Sunrise. In the meantime, you can support our show by joining our Patreon, joining and participating in our Discord, making fan works if you are so inclined, posting about Transplaner on Blue Sky, Instagram, or Tumblr, rating our podcast on all the platforms, buying merch from our merch store, buying a dice set, because we got a portion of those, actually, profits, and most importantly, telling someone else about the channel. Your friend, your family, your homoerotic enemy, your barista, your nemesis. I said that already, but still. Your dog, your cat, your horse, your parakeet.
Parakeet.
That's right. That's right. Thank you all so much, Transplaners. We're going to see you next Saturday, January 24th at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time for Arc 4 Special 2. We can't wait for you to meet our guests and learn about the story of Strike Team Sunrise. We're going to be rating someone really awesome right now, no doubt, so hop over to the Twitch for that and use the raid command in chat. And Spijo. See you next week.
We left one behind. We would take one with us.
Bye! Take us away, boss.